Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, Damek and I are going to be doing a video where I react to his hot takes. We did a video in the past where you reacted to my hot takes. Hot takes are essentially just like a strong opinion you have about something that might be a little controversial. So let's get into the video.
Ready for the hottest takes you've ever heard?
No.
Oh, well, okay. Good, because they aren't that hot. Plain potato chips with dip are better than flavored potato chips.
Like what kind of dip?
Just any kind of dip.
Like hummus?
Instead of, sure, hummus, French onion dip. Like just a dip in general instead of getting like a flavored potato chip.
I mean, honestly, I would agree with that, but that's because I'm a big dip girl. Like, I love different types.
Oh, my big dip.
I love different types of dips, so
it's not that
I don't disagree with it, no.
I said that many products are designed to break easier now, so that way you have to keep buying new products.
I think maybe products are designed in a way where they're meant to be like cheaper so that people can buy more of stuff. And when we talked about like the consumerist like society in the US at least, I don't know. But I don't know if companies intentionally do it so that it breaks and you buy more versus just like, oh, we can get these products cheaper and then we could sell them cheaper. I don't know, like make a bigger profit off of it.
I'd say in the past, like, even if products broke, they were also designed in a way where they were easier to repair. Whereas now people, like, if something small breaks on a large appliance or something, they're like, okay, let's just buy a new one instead of fixing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Next one. Olives are the worst fruit.
I'm trying to think. I guess technically they're fruit. Well, are they?
Don't they grow on a tree?
Yeah.
I guess I should have looked that up. I thought olives are fruit.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. But I think I can't really think of a worse fruit right now.
Olives are fruit.
I can't think of a worse fruit, but at the same time, I don't dislike olives. Like, I also don't really think it's that weird. Like, I think people either love olives or they hate them. So the fact that you don't like them is, like, fine. But I also think sometimes you're a little dramatic about your distaste for olives. Like,
name a worse fruit.
I'm trying to think of even a fruit that I don't like.
Exactly. Are there
I don't
any
really like cantaloupe.
Less than olives?
I'd prefer to eat olives, I think. But, like, here's the thing. I don't hate it enough that, like, I'm like, oh, I would never eat it.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah, I'd probably prefer olives.
Is that your worst fruit, then, cantaloupe?
That's, like, the only one that comes to my mind where I'm like, oh, I don't really like that. I also am actually not that big of a fan of apples, but I also don't, dislike apples. So, anyway. No, I don't know. Most people probably agree with that, though, so I don't know if that's really a hot take.
Okay. You can travel forward in time, but not backwards in time.
I think that's a bold statement.
You don't believe Einstein? Theory of relativity?
Well, I just don't know if you can necessarily prove that.
That what?
That
you can
that
travel
you can't
forward
travel backwards in time. And I mean, technically, if you want to be specific about it, like if you fly from, Europe.
I'm not talking time zones. I'm talking time and...
Yeah, but I just think that you'd have to be kind of naive to think that it's not possible at all, or that it hasn't happened. Because, like, how would you know? You're not going to know everything. Not one person is going to know everything. And I think we talked about this in our last video too, but I feel like if it did exist and someone knew about it, like, it wouldn't be widely shared information. Like, if someone traveled back in time and then was like, now, here in the present day, I really don't think they would, talk about it. And if they did, people would probably think they were crazy. So yeah, I don't know. I do disagree with that one. Because I think you just don't know. Like, I'm not saying for sure it does exist, but I also can't say that it doesn't.
Vegetable soup is a hot, wet salad.
Why vegetable soup? Like, why not any soup then?
They could. Would you say beef stew is a hot, wet salad?
I don't know, would you?
I guess, because I'm a salad.
Hot, wet. No, I don't really like that. I don't like that. Because I love soup. And I
know.
don't like...
You like hot, wet salads?
No. No. I think that's just... That's just so problematic.
Choosing to be bored on occasion is okay.
What do you mean choosing to be bored?
Yeah, like just accepting that you're bored and being okay with it. Not always needing to be doing something.
I don't necessarily think it's bad to do that, but at the same time, I can't think of a time where I would do that. Like, are you, because if let's say we're on a trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just like sit and have a coffee and like look out at the lake or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In that moment, in theory, like I'm not necessarily doing anything. Like I'm just sitting.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily bored because
Yeah.
still kind of am doing something.
Exactly.
So that's what you're saying?
No, like you're just doing nothing. You're just there. You're kind of bored, but that's okay.
I think it's fine, sure. But in for me personally, if I'm bored, why am I not finding something to do? There's probably something that I could be doing.
Like even for a short period of time. Let's say you're just between two different tasks and you want to, instead of like doing something for those few minutes, you're just choosing to sit there and...
I think that's fine to do. I wouldn't say I do that.
No.
I wouldn't say you do that either, though.
Sometimes.
I feel like
Not
you're
always.
always, like, the minute that it gets, like, silent, you, like, pull out your phone and start scrolling on Reddit.
And why don't you say that's a bad thing for attention span and stuff then? So it's better to just sit and be
Well, yeah,
bored?
that's why I think it's good, but I also think it depends. Like, for example, when I'm cooking dinner and maybe I have, like, 5 more minutes of, like, stuff cooking and I have nothing to do and I'll, like, scroll on Instagram, I'll watch Reels or something like that. I think, like, that's fine. But if you have, like, a good, let's say, hour of time, like you finished work and you're meeting up with friends, you have to leave in an hour, you just have an hour of time, I feel like there's, like, and you're just like, oh, I'm bored, I'm going to pull out my phone and start doing this. Like, I feel like there's other things that you could probably accomplish within that hour. So I think it's time dependent.
So would you say, though, always pulling out your phone, even if you have just a few minutes here or there, is bad for attention span? And that maybe it's better to just live in the moment for that time and not necessarily do anything stimulating?
Probably, but I think it's more important to do that if you're, like, around people. Like, for example, if I'm at home just cooking dinner by myself, like, there's nothing else going on, I think that that's not really an attention span thing. It's just kind of like, okay, cool, I have a break, let me scroll. But, like, let's say you're on a trip with your family and that scenario comes up. Well, arguably, you could maybe just, like, take a moment to sit with your family. If, like, if they're sitting outside or something, like, just go sit with your family or talk to them about something or whatever. The attention span thing, I think, is more so to do with, like, what you're consuming on your phone. So, yeah, like, scrolling through, like, Instagram Reels and stuff probably isn't the best thing for attention span, but, I don't know. Like, if you go on Facebook and you're, like, looking at family photos or something like that, I think that's different. So I think it's just dependent.
Okay. Android is better than Apple.
You don't believe that. I know you don't. I know you don't
I do.
actually believe that, though.
I do. Depending on the person. Apple is... You pay for simplicity, basically.
But if you actually had to rid one from the world, which one would you rid?
Apple. Because if you got rid of Android, that's a lot more open source and cheaper, and multiple companies use it. If Apple was all there was, the prices would just go up and up because they'd have no competition.
Well, that's fair, but I feel like I'm more so just comparing the products they put out, the, I guess, aesthetic of how everything looks and how everything works together. Like, I think that the majority of people in the world aren't super like tech savvy and really don't need a lot of that stuff. And I just think that with Apple, like, it's a lot more user friendly and they intentionally do that. And I don't know, like, I feel like,
because they strip away a lot of the features. So
yeah,
that way they keep it simple.
but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we should not have as many features because then you're relying less on your technology. Like, you should just have your phone for like texting, calling, you know, communicating. Social media is like a whole separate thing, but obviously that's not really relevant in this conversation because you could do that on Apple, you could do that on Android, but I just disagree. I think Androids are horrible to look at. They give me a headache. They make weird sounds. And the green text is so obnoxious.
With Android, you can make your text bubbles any color you want.
Yeah, I don't like it. The font is disgusting. Maybe it's also your background though. Like,
Probably. I have the default background.
I don't like the dark, like,
The dark
I don't know.
theme.
Like, I feel like with Android, it's as if I'm walking into a video game where I may or may not get shot. And with Apple, I'm just like walking into a clean, pristine spa.
Well, the nice thing about Android is you can customize it either way. So you can have your clean spa or
But, like,
your deadly
Why
video
would
game.
you want the other thing? I don't know. We're never gonna agree on that. And to be fair, you said now that they updated their charging thing that you were
USB-C.
considering going to
Yeah.
an iPhone. So I wouldn't be so quick
But
to.
on the newest iPhone, they're getting rid of that, so it's only wireless charging. How do you feel about that? Only having wireless charging available.
I don't really like that because what if you want to like be on your phone while it's charging?
Exactly.
Or like if you're in the car, how is that going to work if you're in the car?
You need to buy a wireless charger.
But what if you're using like maps?
You can get like the wireless charger pads that go on your phone mount.
But then is the wireless charger going to plug into the car?
Yes, then the wireless charger's wired.
I don't know. I don't really understand the point of that. Is that supposed to be to make it more like waterproof or something?
No, just so it's thinner and you
The
don't
phone?
Yeah.
Why would you want it thinner?
So that way it
It's
can break
already
easier. Yeah. Ask Apple. You like them.
Well, that's why I still have an iPhone 11. To be honest with you, I don't even like the swipe function. Like, I miss the button. You know when like the iPhones actually used to have the button, like the thumb where you'd put like your thumb on it. I don't know why, but I miss those. I miss those buttons. I don't like swiping, but all phones are like that nowadays.
There's some Androids with buttons.
Not the button, like the cute little circular button.
Okay, not the button. Just other buttons.
I just genuinely like the aesthetic of Apple phones. And I like that I can name my group chats.
Oh, they ultimately decided against it. Okay, it's not going to be wireless. Apple is still exploring that possibility in the future, but the iPhone 17 Air will have a USB-C port, so you have at least one more year with Apple of still being able to charge your phone. Well, I was adding that as a disclaimer that what I said was wrong, so that better be in there. Yep, so I guess those are all my hot takes. Let me know what you think in the comments below, if there's any you agree with or disagree with.
I feel like the Apple Android one is probably the most controversial.
Yeah.
Your other ones, I mean, I feel like most people wouldn't necessarily disagree with, but...
Yeah, I guess I'm not that controversial.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you all in another video. Bye!